다이자브です?
Alright. Hello, everybody. It is Forbidden. And this is Ary.lix. Ary. Everybody, Ary. Technology obviously does not love me. Alright, so thank you so much for putting up with that issue. Ary, so let's start the interview. Who are you?
Hi. Okay. Who am I? はじめまして。私の名前はアリーです。よろしくお願いします。Hi, and welcome to the cafe. Would you like some tea? Or some coffee? My name is Ary.lix, and I am a reality streamer. I do ASMR study streams in reality, and basically more on the chiller side.
Okay.
I am a fashion lover, as I am a fashion student IRL, and at the same time I am an upcoming VTuber because I'm slowly preparing for my indie debut while using reality.
Ooh. Alright. So you're jumping in. You're already like, you don't need to list off any questions. I can do it. So you said you're a streamer and you're planning on doing your debut. Are you planning where? Where are you planning on debuting? What are you planning on doing for content? Do you know that type of stuff yet? Or is it further down the line as you do your studies?
So, as I am also have a life outside of VTubing, as you know, maybe with 4BEN, just pitching it out there. For those who don't know, 4B has their own company upcoming, but while that is also a possibility, I can also be an indie through Twitch or YouTube. Eventually, down the line, I am planning to make more, obviously, ASMR content, storytelling content, and obviously gaming content would be down the line, but I prefer the gaming content to be more of chill games, like stories, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, to name a few. It can also be one of the games I really love storyline-wise would be To the Moon, which is if you guys know that game, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a really good game when it comes to storylines.
I love the storytelling in that game. Alright. So you already kind of talked about how you use reality with doing chill study streams. Do you do any special type of events in your streams? Any sort of interactions where people in chat can influence your streams that you do?
So I do study streams, both me myself studying at the same time. I also study or help learn with chat, since reality is an international platform, as I do changing servers here once in a while. Sometimes I do hop into the Korean server and the Japanese server, so I do learn quite a bit from both. Also sometimes in the Philippine server too, and I made quite a few friends from each servers. So at the same time, I also learn from chat, and I do learning streams like teaching chat how to speak more English, or me myself learning more Japanese or Korean, as I do know how to speak it, but it gets a little bit rusty once you don't
When you
expose
don't
yourself
practice.
to it. Yeah.
So, Ari, care to talk about how you found reality?
Wow. When you're 21 and you're legal in the United States of America, I think you know what happened. I discovered reality after my 21st birthday, legitimately, right after my 21st birthday. I was at home, hungover, after having quite a few drinks. As much as I love my coffee, I also love my alcohol, so Let's just say after a couple of drinks, I don't normally scroll through social media, and I scrolled through Instagram. And I saw an ad for reality, which says create your own avatar. I didn't know reality was a streaming platform in itself. I thought it was just make your own avatar, as I was interested in becoming a VTuber even before then.
Okay.
And because I do love fashion, I do want to see the possibilities of avatar creation when it comes to different apps. And reality was just one of them.
Okay, okay. Have you ever taken a hiatus?
Yes, I have taken a hiatus out of reality. I would say I've had a hiatus since January, and I've been in and out of the app. That's only because I got accepted and was preparing to go to university.
Hey!
IRL.
Hey!
And I got accepted into fashion school, which is so good, but I'm not going to expose
Exciting.
myself where.
Yeah,
Let's just
don't
say
tell me
it's
where. Do not.
one of the best fashion schools. And I think that also reflects my interest in reality when it comes to making gachas. Not even with just gachas, but making avatars even with just the sliders. It makes it all interesting. How else? Yes, I have taken a hiatus because at the same time, the app went through a lot of major changes since I joined.
It did.
So
It
it's
really
quite
has.
interesting from all these changing since when I first started. That's why it's kind of like streamer burnout is a thing. Here's the thing: when everybody starts reality, you're so into it. You spend so much time, around 6 to 8 hours every day, on the app, meeting new friends, making connections. But at the same time, it also leads to creative burnout, which people tend to do just short daily streams while still staying in the app. And I've been doing that because I love reality, but the creative burnout can happen to people if you tend to stay on the platform for way too long.
Yeah. Alright, so you talked about streamer
But
burnout.
I'm slowly getting back into it.
Oh no, so this is gonna lead into my next question then. With experiencing streamer burnout and, the hard grind of what's going to be coming on your plate, with being in a top fashion school, why do you stay? Like, what has made you decide, like, you are going to take at least that 15 minutes to stream and engage with the community?
Well, I do love streaming as is. Despite the creator burnout, I still want to slowly integrate myself into getting used to streaming with people because it really helped me out a lot. Even with just making friends and reaching out to people and making connections. Because I'm so sorry for the background. I'm still in the
fine.
cafe, as you can see, so people are still working. Even with just 15 minutes, I stayed in the app for the people, honestly. Because once you find your crowd in reality, they just, stay. At the same time, it's nice meeting new people and discovering all the different talents all over the world in reality, since it's such a global community.
It is amazing.
I
how
feel like the
global it is.
world is pretty small. I know, right? I feel like the world is pretty small when it comes to reality. Because unlike platforms like Twitch and YouTube, you have smaller communities within in itself. With reality, everybody can get connected one way or another, because as much as a big platform it is also quite small, honestly.
It's a really nice size. Like, when you really think about how many users. So last summer they had celebrated over 10 million downloads. Okay, so that's in the wrong wrong hands. There we go. That's amazing, right? And so that's a year. So I can't even imagine how many downloads they have since had in the last year. But it's crazy how big it is and how small it is, because when you actually get into the communities, everybody knows each other, and people remember one another and things that happen. And it's just a really, I'm always so
All the
comforted by the community.
tea.
Okay, okay, there's maybe a little bit of tea here or there, you know.
All the tea. I
All right.
mean, you know,
Oh, yeah, you know,
Cafe
sometimes
does double
we
as an info broker station.
we need a little quenching of the thirst. Um, so, do you ever have you ever experienced being a content creator on a different platform before reality?
In regards to content creation, I have been a content creator, but not for social media.
Okay.
I have been a content creator before for formal media, I would say. More like journalism, blogs, news. That's the type of platforms that I grew up with. So I
Okay.
do have a bit of training when it comes to like putting myself out there in terms of like formal content creation. But in terms of social media, I'm still quite new to it actually.
Okay. Okay.
So, as though I have experience, it's an entirely different, how do I put this? It's a really different way of putting yourself out there in comparison to formal media.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it is.
yes and no to that
Yes, I
question.
know. So, do you think your training and your experience with being in formal media, do you think that has helped you at all with streaming on reality?
Well, in my part, it's mostly formal media is quite different since you have to follow certain steps when it comes to it, and the way you interact people is just one and done. Yes, you're just delivering a message. When it comes to social media, you need to interact with your audience, and you need to like make connections, and I think that's what's different between the both of them. So
Okay.
yes, it did help me a lot in presenting myself as a streamer and as a VTuber, and as a person when making my own content. But when it comes to streaming, you need to know how to interact with people and your audience, and know what your target audience is in terms of like what type of streams you want to put out. So yes, it did help me quite a lot, but I still need to learn quite a lot too.
We are lifelong learners. We are lifelong learners, so don't ever worry about having to learn a new skill. Um, so, you've talked about wanting to expand on VTubing. Have you already tried expanding onto different platforms, or are you just going to wait until you are more settled into like your schoolwork or even done with schooling to be on something like to start doing like a Twitch or a YouTube?
Well, well, in regards to that, I do have a lot of content
Oh, okay.
on my back end, let's just say, on file. I do have a lot of content on file, like ASMR videos, ASMR scripts, storytelling scripts, ideas. It's just slowly putting it out there. I do have a YouTube channel and an Instagram for my VTubing.
Ooh.
It's still the same name as
Okay.
my
Okay.
username in reality, Ary.lix, but I think it's more slowly integrating it on my part when it comes to content creation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I still need to like follow a certain schedule when it comes to that.
Oh, so okay. So
But
this is
no
another thing.
content has been put out yet.
Okay, no content has been put out, but you believe in having a schedule. You had mentioned something about having a schedule of like release. So are you planning on doing it where like every Tuesday at this time new content is being dropped? Like is that your goal, or are you going to be more of like a sporadic updater?
I believe in both.
Okay.
Because one, schedules keep you in line when it comes to like putting out consistent content, because consistency is quite important when it comes to making content. You need to be consistent when you wanna have an audience, and then people who will come back again and again to your streams. At the same time, I also do love the sporadic interactions that I can do, so that's why I also do zatsudans, which is
Ooh.
basically just chilling and talking streams, which are quite sporadic. But
Okay.
when it comes
Okay.
to like having a schedule, I think putting out content at least once a week when it comes to like the things that you do, like ASMRs, gaming, I believe at least once a week will help with that schedule and for the consistency because I can't English.
Don't worry, I can't either.
No, because I was just talking in another language before this.
No, I
English is
understand the
getting mixed
struggle.
up.
I understand the struggle. All right, so the consistency.
So yeah, consistency is the key, and keeping up to date when it comes to like trends, I would say, is also important when it comes to that.
So Ari,
Just
you
like
just
in
mentioned,
fashion,
you just mentioned
Yes.
that you were speaking not in English right before this. What all languages do you know?
What all languages do I know? Well, I would say I do know a bit of English, as you can probably tell, as I do also stream in English. But I also know how to speak Filipino or Tagalog, as you would call it, because there are about like 168 dialects in the Philippines, and I speak about 2 of them. I also speak Korean and Japanese as my next languages, but I did learn because for a reason. I do understand quite a bit of Spanish as long as it's written but not spoken.
Okay.
So I would say I speak about 4 languages, and I'm literate in like 3 of them.
Oh, 3? Okay.
I mean, I can read. No, I'm literate. I'm speaking about literacy because reading and speaking is different.
Yes,
I
they
can
are.
speak Japanese and Korean, but I can't really read it.
Oh,
But with
okay.
Spanish, Filipino, and English, I can both read and read it more.
Yeah, no, I
But
definitely have
when
some
I can't really
languages.
speak Spanish.
I definitely have. I feel that because there are some languages where like I hear it, and I have no problem. But other languages where I have to like take a pause, I'm like, I don't know if I'm correct. And same with like reading the comments. Like you could give me a Spanish comment and I'd be fine reading it. But yeah, so that is the thing, and I feel like some
You
people don't
can't
understand
reply
that.
back, right? It's a consistent struggle.
It's a consistent struggle. And then I'm like, wait, is this actually a Spanish word or is this a French word? And then as I learn more languages that are based off of the same like base root, it's like, oh, now I have so many vocab words that I have to question of whether or not they belong to this language. But I feel like that's a struggle that people who don't know multiple languages don't understand. They're like, oh, you know Spanish, therefore you are fluent in Spanish fully. I'm like, sure.
No, literacy and just speaking it is different. That's why when I do speak English sometimes on my own streams, and when like a foreign person comes in, like for example a Korean or a Japanese person, because I do have a bit of friends on both servers too, I try to speak English more slowly than usual when I do, because it helps them learn at the same time how to speak it.
Yeah, you don't want to
Because,
learn English from me.
Sometimes you need to be understanding of your own audience.
You don't like. I love you. I love everybody,
really.
and I stream in English. But you don't need this. Ari has much better accent to learn. Okay.
The most. Well, I have multiple accents, as you know, Phoebe.
This is
pop
mine
out, okay?
across board. Okay. This is mine, pretty.
Well, once you learn multiple languages, you do know your accent quite changes. It changes quite a bit. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, I do. It's a pain in the tuchus sometimes. So I know I usually only stream in English. I very rarely will you catch me streaming not in English. I may give you like a hello, I may ask you how you're doing, I may give you a goodbye or a good night or something like that. But I keep it very English based. Do you do the same, or do you do like sometimes you are only streaming in Japanese or doing maybe a language exchange type of stream?
Well, I mostly stream in English as my primary language, but I also, when I do know like a foreign viewer is watching me, I do tend to switch in streams in between. So between English, Filipino, English, or Japanese, I do switch it quite a bit, but it's like as long as you know how to multitask and pay attention to your audience, it's quite fine. Once in a while, I would do a Tagalog or a Filipino stream here and there.
Okay, okay.
But I primarily stream in English too.
Okay.
But I do keep in mind my audience when they come in too.
Okay, all right. I got this question. What advice would you give somebody who is just starting streaming, and what advice do you wish you had when you had first started?
I would say to everybody who just started streaming, just put yourself out there, honestly. You never know unless you take the first step when it comes to streaming. And you need to know the niche that what streams you would like to do. For example, I do quite a lot of chill streams and study streams. And before, people would technically fall asleep, usually, because I stream very late hours. So I would say, but people would hop in because they find my voice quote unquote calming, and it helps them like calm down or it helps them sleep, which I do understand. But please don't sleep because I need my chat to be active.
Please do not fall asleep on me. I will get sad.
Exactly. But no, honestly, understanding what niche you have and what type of streamer you want to be is also important. But at the same time, it's making connections with people. As reality is both a streaming app and a viewing app, you yourself can also like make connections to people by just stream hopping or just saying hi in their streams too. So just putting yourself out there and trying little by little, making connections and trying things out for yourself, as I would say, as a streamer, would be the best advice I can give when you go to react. Now, what advice I would give to myself? Honestly, I wish I was more consistent.
Okay.
As I did run into hiatus because of a couple of months, but I wish I was more consistent back then when it came to streaming, honestly, because I do miss it quite a bit, and slowly integrating myself back into the platform. Sometimes I forget how I stream.
Okay.
Sometimes you tend how you stream too, so if you were consistent with it, I wouldn't forget how to stream in chat.
Oh, I forget. I forget every day, and I do it every day for like 2 hours. I forget my name sometimes.
It's like, oh.
Alright,
Sometimes you're like, oh, I forgot that I was streaming.
yeah, right? Like, oh, hi there, everybody. So do you think your personal culture affects how you stream? So like personal culture could be your ethnicity, where you grew up, your generational culture, so like millennial, Gen Z, Gen X, Alpha, socioeconomics, like all of the things that make you, your education level. How do you think that all affects how you stream? Does it?
Of course it does. Well, personally, I am a third culture kid, meaning I was born in another culture and I grew up in another one. So I'm a third culture kid when it comes to that. I was born in the United States, but I grew up in Asia, specifically the Philippines. And I traveled quite a bit in Asia when I was quite younger. So I do understand quite a bit of both cultures when it comes to streaming. and I was exposed to both sides of the West and the East when it comes to that. So yes, it really does affect the way I stream and the way I interact with different people on the platform. I would say personally, because I am also a fashion student and a certified caffeine addict, my streaming depends on the level of caffeination that I have during that day, and I get quite picky about avatars and when making my own avatars for in reality.
Alright. So I love that though.
Hence, oh, sorry for me.
No,
Hence, I
go,
think
go, go.
info broker as a lore. Hence, info broker as a lore really suits it because, you know, if you want to know the tea and, you know, you need to change face every day when you gather information.
No, that, oh, gosh. Alright, so Ari, is this your first reality account?
Yes, actually, this is my very first reality account. I made this account as the day after my birthday, which we all know the story about to that.
We do now.
And I just stuck to this account since I started reality.
Okay.
Though I do have another one which I'm not going to disclose, just so I can pull for male avatars.
The
But
fashion.
That's just to
Passion.
that's just to sasatisfy the addiction, you know. Aside from being caffeine.
Do I ever?
You know.
So is there anything on reality that you would like to try but you just haven't done yet?
As ironic as this sounds, well, that really depends if it's something that's already in reality or not. Because if not in reality,
We'll start with what is in reality and then we'll expand out to what's not. Something that you would like to see.
So in reality, I would like to try streaming more in other servers.
Okay.
I did made a few friends in other servers when streaming, and I want to try to integrate myself into other servers too, like the Japanese or the Korean server. At the same time, I would like to try more avatar ratings actually. So far, I only did one avatar streaming.
You're
that
gonna
was for
join
my
the
first
circle!
anniversary in the app.
You're gonna join the circle!
If one thing that I would love to do in reality, I think that would be avatar streamings, but that would depend on how long it will take that I can fit into my schedule, as avatar ratings can tend to be very long once you go really in depth with it.
If you're an in-depth
especially if you
rater.
go with the coloration.
And you give them advice, and you give them like, the exact hex codes to figure out the color. They take a while. They just use a little bit.
Yes, if I remember, I took like 10 minutes or like 5 or so with your avatars for me. That's only like 5 avies on my very first avatar rating.
And I loved it. I can't wait to see you part of the circle. Oh, I'll have a new place to stop by.
I mean, I gotta use my degree. I gotta use my degree somehow.
You gotta use that degree in fashion somehow. Would you ever be interested? So, I don't know how engaged you are on Reality's Twitter or the official Discord, but there is something called the #reality_outfit, where Reality itself collects a whole bunch of user photos posted, and then they make a little fashion magazine for the month. Are you aware that they do that? Would you be interested in doing something with it?
I am aware.
Okay.
I am quite aware of the reality Discord, but I'm not quite active in Twitter as I use Instagram more as my main platform when it comes to social media. I use Instagram and Discord. So yes, I am aware of the reality fashion magazine, but maybe I am interested in putting quite a few outfits there. The only thing is, should I stick with original Ari or should I stick with different types of Ari?
I just do vibes. I'm like, whatever I'm vibing with, that's what's getting submitted. Like, I've done holiday ones. I'm like, yep, this is the inspo. I just pick a topic and I design an avatar around it. When I do my pieces that I submit. But so, so then my question is, do you think? Oh, no, go. Sorry. I'll wait. I'll hold my question.
No. As my end, I don't have. As people don't really know, I don't have a lot of outfits actually. When it comes to that, I have like quite a few, but not a lot. People don't realize that.
Okay.
So matching your accessories and matching your like outfits is really important because coloration and color coordination is really difficult when it comes to reality sometimes because different gotchas have different color coordinations. When it comes to that.
Some are the undertones. Oish undertones.
The finishes too, the metallics, the mattes, the soft.
Which we appreciate. We do appreciate our team. We appreciate it. We do. But sometimes it's really hard to work with.
Exactly. And I have quite a few gotchas under my belt, but I only have a few that I can actually work with when it comes to matching.
Okay.
Yes and no. People don't realize that sometimes and just see how much you put into your Avi. But it's what would we do with it is what's more important in my sense, I would say.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I don't care if you have all of the items on or not. Do they work together? If they don't, then take it off. Which then is very, like, as I'm in a very eclectic avatar, I don't normally go this eclectic, but there's a reason behind the design. So, anywho, we're gonna go past it. So, you said that you really engage mainly, your main other social media is Instagram. Do you think reality should start Instagramming? Should they get on the gram?
When it comes to avatar platforms, I would say yes and no. Avatar is mostly I would say Avatar is mostly a platform when it comes to like IRL stuff and platforms and artworks. So yes, reality should get on the gram if they want more exposure. At the same time, it's like more user based, I would say. But at the same time, Instagram is not really for, I would say, showcasing all the anime stuff, which there isn't really much, I would say, on Instagram. So yes and no.
Okay. No, again, like this could help them. I don't even know. They probably won't watch these, okay? But you never know. You never know. We will start a big social movement. Wait, 1 moment. Ari. So, Ari, we were talking about, maybe reality would see this. You had mentioned as well that there have been new features released during the time that you've been here. How long have you been on the reality?
I have been on reality officially for a year. Actually, I would say a year and a month now that the 21st has passed. So I've been on reality for a year and a month.
Nice.
So I can say even just during that short span of time, reality has changed quite a bit. The interface changed, the way that they roll out gotchas for the outfits changed. A lot of things changed in reality in quite a short span of time that it gets quite hard to keep up with for people who have taken breaks in between. But the community is all the same. It's just that we are more engaged now and we have more things to do with the platform other than just streaming.
So I know you have mentioned that you've kept up with some of the international servers. Have you seen that Reality has been doing actual in-person meetups in like Japan and Indonesia?
Ah, yes, I have quite seen that actually. I do have a friend who also lives in Indonesia, and she did say quite a bit of the the meetup was quite fun for the users, though it was quite a small event, as during that time Reality is still a small platform. Though I think Reality can grow quite a lot in a short span of time, the more users and the more people are advertised outside of the platform. One of my friends, actually two, Yuji and Sote Higanbana, they
Yeah.
have been advertised before in billboards in Reality.
Hey.
And one of the most known users, as you would know, Kasuga, has won the tote bag event for that Japanese bookstore,
Yep.
which is actually the state that I live in, New Jersey. So I
Hey.
can't wait. If that comes out here, I'll be sure to get it.
Yes, if they re-release it, I was so upset. I was planning to go to Chicago because that was the closest city that was selling them for me to get it, and then like it was like the day of the drop that they announced it. I was like, I have plans. And it'll take a moment to drive there. And yes, I have friends who have plane, but I can't be like, hello, can you prepare the plane? Because I need to go buy a bag. Unless it is something a very expensive bag, then they probably would tell me no. But yeah, so I want to see more events like that.
Right?
If they did a meetup in America, would you be interested in it? Would that be something that you would want to?
And lucky with interviews for me. This is our second
No!
time.
No, you're not unlucky. We're filming. We are filming. So would you be interested if they did bring an event to America? If they had some sort of meetup that was official? Because obviously some people have already met up with each other offline because we're nosy. You know, we like to talk to people.
I would actually love a meetup IRL with some friends and with a platform as a Reality event. Though it does also bring the question, as Reality is both a streaming platform and a viewer platform. It also brings the are you willing to expose yourself IRL as a VTuber, since you know VTubing is technically all about hiding our
Being
identities,
faceless,
and
yeah.
it's like a separate matter. Yes, being faceless. So yes, I am interested, though I am quite curious on how they'll handle that when it comes to terms of like, do we come as our own and it's just a reality event, or is it a user event, which us as people do need to like show ourselves as the avatar. So both quite yes.
Cosplay,
and no,
everybody!
especially
Cosplay!
since we do have actually, for Halloween, I might. But as a Reality meetup with friends, I'd be quite interested. We were actually planning in January sometime there, a meetup with some of my Reality friends. Maybe we're gonna go to Disneyland.
Ooh.
But both yes and no. I'm quite excited, though, as if that's so too, I want to know how many guests there can be when it comes to the Reality. If they will be able to show like famous users in the platform, as there is quite a bit of very known people in this platform.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's all of my questions. I think that is all of the questions I had. Oh, do you have any words that you would like to tell anybody? Like any parting words?
Hi, Mina. I'll be back in Reality quite soon enough. English. Consistently, I mean, but ないです。ありがとう and arrivederci for me.
Arigato! Au revoir. I will see you around, Ari. Thank you so much. And
Okay,
again,
just
sorry
make
for all the
sure the
problems.
avatar ratings. No, you're fine. I'll be sure to do an avatar rating for you in a bit for me.
Arigato.
Soon. Sooner rather than
Yes,
later.
sooner rather than later. Thank you,
As a
Ari. Ari.
fellow avatar rating hopper.
Ari.
As a
Shana.
fellow avatar hopper. Done it.
Mwah.